In this video, I wanted to walk through how to create a new project in Unreal. So what you want to do is you want to download the Epic Games Launcher. I'm going to click that tab right there. I already have it downloaded. And in order to create a new Unreal project, it might default over on home. You're going to see a lot of stuff, but essentially you want to utilize the Unreal Engine portion of the Epic Launcher. So to do that, we're going to click on Unreal Engine. And you'll notice that there's a couple of other tabs here if you want to look through their marketplace, or if you want to go through some tutorials, you can click on Learn and go through some of that. So there's a lot of stuff to explore here. For now, I'm going to click on Library, and that's going to show me a few other things. You can see some of my previous projects here and some assets that I've downloaded. And you can also add newer versions of the engine. But what I want to do is I want to launch the editor with this button over here. Then you will get to this section right here, and this is where we can create a new project. What I want to do is I want to create a new project, but if you had a previously created project, you can actually open them up here. I'm going to go to New Project, and for this example, let's say I want a first-person shooter template, which I do. So I'm going to click on first person, and you'll see that there's lots of other templates here, but let's stick with this one. Once I click this, you'll notice that this is a blueprint template, which is built using their blueprint system. If you are wanting to go into C++, you would choose something from over there. We don't want that. That's going to be too complex for now. So again, click on first person, blueprint template. Down here, it's going to ask a few things. We don't want to mess with too much of this, but I am going to add the starter content. This is going to give us some additional assets like particles and audio. So we're going to import with this starter content, just like that. Finally, we're going to choose a place for our project. I have a projects folder on my desktop. Just navigate anywhere you like. Select the folder. Give it a name. So maybe FPS example project. And then hit create project. And this will create our project in the location. It actually might take a bit, so just wait for it. And once it finishes, you're going to see this screen right here. And you'll see me moving around like this. This is just, if you hold down the right mouse button, you can use AWSD to move around in this viewport. But I'm not too worried about this yet. I'm just going to do more setup stuff. So down here, one thing I like to do is click this little button, the show or hide the sources panel right here. And this will give us a list view of all of our content. You'll see that there's a lot of other assets already imported with our first person shooter template and our starter content. What I want to do is I want to start a little bit fresh. I want to take what I have here and I'm going to make a new map just so I can always have this to come back to. So I'm going to go to File, Save Current As. This is going to save my current level that I have open. Right now it's our first person example map. I'm actually going to make a new folder here. So if you right click, new folder, I'll just call this example. Inside of example, just so I can keep track of all the stuff that I'm doing. I can always rename this later. Now I'm going to give my map a name. Let's call this Sandbox. Hit save. And once that finishes, now we can actually make some changes to this and we can always go back to our other map. Another thing that you're going to notice is if I were to close down Unreal and then open it back up, it's actually going to default to the other map. We can declare what map we want it to open into. And what I want to do is I want my sandbox map to automatically load into this map instead of something else. So to do that, you can go to Edit, Project Settings, go down to something called Maps and Modes right here. You click that under Default Maps, this Editor Startup map right here, this is the map it's going to load into as soon as you open the editor. Now, the reason this matters is because if you had a map with a lot of materials, it would have to compile all these things, and you don't even want that map to begin with. So that's just useful. I'm going to change the Editor Startup map. If you click the drop down, you'll see your sandbox map right there. And the game default map, this easiest way to think about this, if you were to run your executable, which map is going to be the first the first one that's going to load. Like, what are we going to load into from the executable? For now, I'm just going to have it load into the sandbox as well. And at this point, you can play around in the editor. You can click a few things like show available tutorials and up here, and it'll give you a walkthrough on how to use some of these menus. But now that I have this set up, I can get to other things. So we are good for now.